Welcome to the Empowered Podcast with Deanna Merlino, an all-encompassing personal development show where I will be sharing with you just how to transform yourself into the best version of you, both inside and out. From wellness, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and manifestation, I'll be showing you exactly how to live your best life. I will be keeping it as real and raw as it gets. So get ready to peel back the layers and really transform yourself under the surface. Because nothing is better than finding your purpose and living this life as your true, authentic self. Hello, Empowered fam, and welcome back to today's podcast. Last week, we talked about the fact that I had a psychic reading done of the year 2024 and all that I can expect. And as always, even when I'm talking about myself, I always make sure to spin it back to you guys so you can take something from it and put it towards your own life, right? Because I don't just want to talk about me. I'm here to help you. So it was a really awesome episode. It also gives you an insight on the direction my head is right now on like my offerings and how present or not present I'm going to be for the next year. And so I actually was just sitting down to do some work for my 21-day manifesting program that has now come to an end as of today, actually. And I'm going to sit with that a little bit. I'm going to see what I decide to do with that. That was such a fun program for me. It was such an impactful program. And I intended to just run it for the new year, but we'll see what happens with that. Anyhow, I was sitting down to do that and then just had this thought pop into my head that I really want to talk to you guys about the difference of coaching and mentorship and what that even really means, what that even really entails. And I've kind of talked about this stuff before, but now that I'm officially releasing my new mentorship program, the Empowered Embodiment Mentorship Container. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long road coming. And the clients that I have in it are experiencing massive shifts, which is so exciting for me. And so as that is officially live and launched and open, which if you want to get into that container, you can drop into the show notes, or if you have questions and you want to chat about it, DM me. If you want to jump in but need a bit of a custom payment plan, we can certainly chat about that too. But yeah, so on that note, let's just kind of jump in. So what is the difference between coaching and mentorship? First of all, coaching in the first place, to me, what that means for me is like, you are signing up for the classes. You are signing up for the courses. You are signing up for the healings. And yeah, there may be some live aspects of that container, depending on whose program you're in and if it's mine or someone else's, right? It depends on the specific offering. But mostly that is served as, or a master class, right? Or it's something that is offered to you as kind of just like, I'm going to share my knowledge and my information, and then you are left to do with it on your own fit or on your own terms or on your own timeline. But there's really not a ton of one-on-one attention. And so kind of like, for example, in my 21-day manifesting program, I kind of, I mixed both a little bit. There is daily drops of the content. And then I decided to do 4 live coaching call, check-in, mastermind type deals. So you are having a little bit of that one-on-one contact, but that's really it. Like coaching is, you do not have that person in your pocket. You have access to their knowledge. You have access to their insight, which of course is so powerful and is the perfect place to start. But that's really where the buck stops. Now, mentorship is different. Mentorship, and yeah, before I was investing in mentorship, there are people that I see as mentors in my life. Catherine Zenkina has been a mentor in my life for years. Does she know who I am? Probably not. Debbie Neal was a mentor in my life for years. Does she know who I am? Actually, yes, she was on the podcast and I got to meet her in Las Vegas. But it was just me binging all of her content and plugging into her world in all of her all of her coachings, all of her trainings on her podcast. And so I wasn't paying her for that knowledge, but I still saw her as a mentor. I still saw her as someone that I wanted to take in that knowledge. So you can have mentors who have no idea who you are and they're unpaid, or you can have a mentor who knows exactly who you are and you're paying for that one-on-one close proximity, specified or specific, like just catered to you care. That is so different. And that is the highest price point, the highest value that you're going to get from having a mentor in that way. So I would consider Catherine Zankina a coach of mine as well. Even though I look at her as a mentor, in her containers, I would see her as a coach. She's someone that I've learned a plethora of knowledge from. She is someone who has shaped the entire trajectory of my entire existence, my offerings, the world that I'm in, my career path. Like she has had a massive influence on that. She is actually what stemmed all of it. So I'm so grateful for that. Danielle McCleary, now I paid her as a mentor. I paid to be in close proximity with her. I paid to be a part of her world where I have access to her when I have a specific thing that I'm trying to work through so I can get her specific knowledge. For me, again, as a projector, it is really important for me to have a safe sounding board. I know her beliefs. I know where she stands. I know that she has the experience. She is somewhere that I desire to be, that I am not there yet. So of course I want her guidance. That is what you're paying for mentorship for. And that's why I had Danielle as my mentor. And so now that's what they are, but how do you know which one you're ready for? If you are looking for a coaching container or the course or the healing session or the program, or even a membership, right? Like that is when you are first learning the knowledge. Or you are someone who is like me, I'm very self led. I want to learn the knowledge and then I'm very good at putting it into place for myself 9 times out of 10. Are there times where I need that mentor to be like, hey, I'm emotionally too close to it. I'm only seeing it from this angle. Can you show me what you're seeing it as? And that's invaluable to me. That's why I'm willing to pay for mentorship. But I also know that that's because I'm a mental projector and not everyone, mental projectors, I think are like 10% of the population, something around there, or 8 or 6 or something. It's very limited. So I know that not everyone is that way. And so maybe you're that way where you're like, okay, I'm going to take in all this knowledge and I can hold myself accountable to actually implement it because knowledge is nothing if you haven't embodied it. Or you're someone who you have all this knowledge and you're like, okay, now what do I do with it? Okay, now I'm also not holding myself accountable. Okay, now I need someone to hold my hand a little bit more. Coaching is going to be perfect for you in that aspect because that is more of that. I would like to consider that. I don't want to say the entry level because you don't have to be new in that world, but that's where you're comfortable investing. That's where you're comfortable being. That's where you want someone to hold your hand a little bit, but you haven't dove all the way in. You need help. You need clarity. You need guidance. You are ready to learn. You are ready to invest in yourself a little bit. You're ready to commit to the journey. And then you're willing to see where it goes from there. Whereas mentorship is when you are all in. You have burned the boats. There's no back door. You are so focused. You are so committed. You as like someone in my mentorship. So, okay, someone in my coaching container, when I give them Voxer access, they are likely using that every single day. Like they are like, help me with this. I need guidance. If you are in my mentorship, while I actually give you even more longer Voxer access, you're the type of person who's probably going to be using that less. Like when I was mentoring with Danielle, I did not talk to her every day. My mentors that I have now, my mentorees that I have now, they are not reaching out every day. Like at that point in the journey, you are very self-led. You have gained the discernment to be able the discernment and the confidence and the awareness and the ability to have the ability to find an answer on your own. And then you might come to me like, hey, I'm dealing with this situation. I want to deal with it this way. Do you think this is the best way? Or I know that I am very emotionally attached to this, whether because of trauma or because it's just an old pattern that we haven't worked through as yet. What do you think I should do here? Like it's very much difference between coaching is holding the hand and mentoring is just like leading the way and guiding you through the process, but you're leading yourself. So I hope that kind of makes sense. And when do you know like it's time to shift from coaching to mentorship? Well, if you are someone who's been investing in people's wow, coaching programs, master classes, healings, that kind of thing. And you're like, okay, that was great content, but what's next? Or like you found yourself jumping from like coach to coach to coach to coach to coach, looking for someone to be like, okay, is this going to stick? Is this going to stick? Is this going to stick? When you're ready to stop throwing spaghetti on the wall, you're going to go from the master classes and the healings and jump into an actual coaching program. And then when you're ready, like, okay, I feel good. I really enjoyed that time working together. And now I am willing to invest in myself to pay for your time to guide me specifically and mentor me to get to the place that I desire to be that I'm not yet, that you know how to get me there. I want to be in close proximity with you. I want to be able to utilize you at all times as I navigate this passageway on my own to the destination that I desire. That's when you're ready to shift more into mentorship. And now, most people, again, they're going to be just doing the master classes and the memberships and the all that lower ticket stuff initially and then make their way to the mid ticket stuff like a coaching program, a one-on-one coaching program, or a group coaching program. And then when they're ready for that high ticket investment after they've built their belief and they're well on their way and they've got a good grasp, then they jump into mentorship. But I don't want to like put you in a box. If you are someone who is like, no, I'm committed, I'm all in, I know myself, I am ready. Like there are people who have just found me and jumped into my stuff, even though they've never done anything else before. There are also those self-led people there. So here's the thing, you know yourself best. Which one are you ready for? Which one are you ready to commit to? Which one are you being pulled to? And now, if you have been looking at my offerings or taken some of them and you're like, okay, what's the next step? Or which one is best for me? I would love to chat with you about this. And the last thing that I'm going to leave with this episode, and I'm saying this with so much love, it's something that everyone needs to hear, whether you're in my world or anyone else's world when it comes to coaching and mentorship and classes and courses and all that stuff, right? You cannot expect to pay low ticket prices and get the results of a high ticket mentorship one-on-one package. They do not fit. They are not the same. Are you still going to get stuff out of the low ticket entry offers? Of course you are. But you cannot expect to get the same results from my low ticket entry offers that are meant to just give you knowledge and a little bit of clarity versus investing in me one-on-one to guide you from that low ticket course. So ask yourself, what results do you need and what results are you looking for? And then let that be the deciding factor on what course or program or where in my world or anyone's world that you're investing into, right? Like let that be the leader. Don't let the fear be the lead. Like you have to be willing to do what you have not done in order to get where you desire to be. So if up to this point, you've only been investing in the one-off low ticket offers, maybe it's time for you to invest in a coaching program or a mentorship program. Will it be scary to your ego and your subconscious? I'm sure it will. But if you take a minute I always before like I'm making a decision, I love to either tap on it, which not everyone has access to that, but you could totally YouTube. I'm also a tapping practitioner, or you could just shake like the freest, easiest way to clear your body of the energy that is making you nervous, the energy that is making you panic, the energy that is filling you with fear that is in your body because it's an energetic buildup of emotions and beliefs, is to somatic shake it out. Literally pop on a song, shake out your whole body, dance, get silly, and then make the decision or at least tune in with yourself and ask, like, is this right for me? Because you're naturally going to get that initial fear, but do not let that decide if you're going to invest in yourself in any way, shape, or form. Get clear and then listen to the voice and the feelings in your body then. The yes, your higher self, the soul guidance, feels no need to scream and shout and get loud. It will be very soft and quiet and certain. The scary, big, bold feeling, that's just your fear and your ego. So learn to discern between the two before you invest. And I promise you, after you invest, you are going to feel so much better. When you do, your body is like, okay, that was the right decision. After you get past that first buildup of all of the feelings and the emotions, and there are going to be times where you made that big, bold, scary investment and you're like, oh my gosh, I really hope that was the right thing to do. That's normal too, because you still haven't done the work as yet that will come from that investment to rewire the limiting beliefs. So they're still there, but be rest assured that if you're investing in a good coach, if you're investing in a good mentor, they will help you work through those things. That's why they're there in the first place. Okay. So with that being said, if you are ready to jump deeper into my world, I'm here for you. Whether it's in the show notes, whether you reach out to me, I would love to have you in my 8-week life coaching program or my new mentorship container. I have 3-month, 6-month, and 12-month offerings. And as usual, when you jump into my world at the beginning price, you will be grandfathered in at that price. I love to raise my prices because I know my self-worth. And as I get comfortable in any of my offerings, as I improve them, as I tweak them, as I add to them, I always raise my prices. So this is your sign and this is your pink slip to jump in now at the introductory rate before those prices raise, because I invested in having a professional copywriter create the content for my sales page because she's magical and I love her. And after reading through what she wrote and created for me, she went in my head and took everything I wanted to say and packaged it so beautifully and perfectly. I'm like, oh, that's underpriced. Like if I were to be investing in that, I would expect it to cost way more. So if you're interested, jump in now because it's the lowest price point that you're going to get my offering. Okay. I love you all so much. And I will see you next week on the Empowered with Deanna Merlino podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to find out more, you can follow me on Instagram at Empowered with Deanna and my personal page, Fit Deanna Lolita. You can also visit me on my website, which is deannamerlinofit.com. Make sure that whatever platform you guys are listening on, please rate and subscribe. And this means so much to me. It's going to help get me out there to help so many other people. I'm so grateful that you're here with me on this journey of wellness and self-empowerment. I cannot promise that it will always be easy, but I do know that it will always be worth it. Stick with me, and together, let's start living as the version of us that we were meant to be. Because the world is waiting for your gifts, and you deserve to live the life of your wildest dreams and beyond. So friends, let's get empowered.